What's going on, freaks and geeks? It's just your buddy Cleanup, aka the Mighty Cheeseburger, and I got some ballin' ass clips. I'm gonna be doing my Battlefield Hardline review, as the title says. Take this guy out real quick. The reason why I'm showing this clip is because it's my first special animation, which I was really stoked to get. They have these 1 in 10,000 chances to get one of these. I really wish I would have hit that shot right there, but as you can tell, he's jamming it right in, and then he flips it up and lets it slide right in. But yeah. So, I'm going to be giving my review of Hardline from top to bottom to kind of give my ultimate opinion on if this game is worth their price tag. Now, just a forewarning, I did buy this game for around $120. That includes premium. Oh my gosh, here's a couch clip. I had to put in a couch clip, man. I ended up taking out a guy, and as you can tell in the kill feed, it's going to say America, just in case you haven't seen it already. This is one of the subtle nuances inside this game that keep me coming back for more. I really love this aspect of the game, the whimsical kind of fun aspect of this game. It definitely does keep me coming back for more. But at the same time, there is a competitive side to this with some different game modes that I'll get into. But yeah, this is going to be very jam-packed with info, and the final score is obviously going to be at the end of the video. So strap in and let's get started. Alright, so the good things about this game, that's really what I want to cover in this video, and then in the next video I'm going to cover kind of some of the things that need tinkering and or worked on, and then I'll give some easy, quick fixes that I believe could make it a little bit better. So one of the good things is the UI, which, just in case for those who don't know, it's a nice little clutch takeout right here, but just in case you didn't know, it's called the user interface, and unlike its predecessor in Battlefield 4, the party system actually works. Now, the user interface is basically a menu system in how things are presented to you and how you work your way around the game's menu system. Now, you can join friends without a hitch this time, and it's really fun. Overall, things have been streamlined, which I know is an overused term, but it's the best in this case. And it's been streamlined to cater to a great experience for new users and veterans of the series alike. Game modes, which normally you think of Battlefield, you think of grand and scale maps with tanks, jets, helicopters, whatever it may be. And Visceral kind of took that and what you knew about Battlefield and kind of flipped it over on its head and made the maps tighter. The gun battles seem more closely fought, and there seems to be less focus on sniper gameplay, and that in turn makes games seem quicker and more entertaining because everything's done pretty much in close quarters. Now, I say close quarters, but at the same time, Conquest is still there. So all you Battlefield freaks, don't freak out. It's still there. The game mode that you grew up with and loved is definitely still there. Now, although this time around, it doesn't feel like the star of the show or even its main focus. The stars of the show, I believe, are the other game modes like Heist, Hotwire, Blood Money, Rescue, and I believe the last one is Crosshair? Crosshair, yeah. They're all new game modes, okay? I haven't really seen these in other FPSs, and from what it seems like, their first time around, they really nailed these game types. But just like anything else, there are some quick fixes that will be addressed, but nonetheless, let's move right forward to the game types, okay? Heist is basically breaking into a safe. If you played the beta or whatever, you know what this is. It's extracting goods and then delivering it to a safe drop point. I consider it an ultimate game of tug-of-war, along with Blood Money, which is a definite tug-of-war. There's basically a huge pile of cash, and teams fight over it to see who can get the most back to their base to get the win. But at the same time, you can go behind enemy lines, do the ultimate flank skis like I'm doing here to take out an entire crew, and steal the money from their vault and return it to yours for some cash. So yeah, then you have Hotwire, which again was in the beta. It's basically King of the Hill with mobile objectives. You know, as soon as you get your car or whatever vehicle, you get going to a certain speed, you start gaining points for your team, and then whoever does that ends up winning, obviously. Blood Money, I went over Rescue, okay? Now this is more like CSGO, in the fact that you have hostages, okay, 2 in this case, and you must save at least 1, or you can possibly eliminate the entire enemy team to get the win. And you only have 1 life in this game mode, so you have to be very careful. It's very intense, and it provides some of the great moments. Now, my favorite game mode of this entire game is Crosshair. Okay, now as a cop, your job is to escort the VIP, who is equipped with like a fancy gold Desert Eagle, and you have to get him to one of the extraction zones, okay, to prevent him from being assassinated by the enemy team. Now obviously as the enemy team, your job is to take that VIP player out. Now again, you only have one life to live, so you definitely have to be careful. Now these game modes are definitely very different to the series, but they're also very welcomed at this point. I myself find myself liking these game modes more so than just your typical conquest / TDM, and I really appreciate them for what they are. Okay, now let's get into some of the fun stuff that I think shows longevity in a game with the customization and battle packs. Okay, now there are not as many guns in this game. That's the first thing you're gonna find out. In Battlefield 4 there were so many guns with so many options. Sometimes it became very confusing on which gun to use, and sometimes even overwhelming on what attachment to get. Okay, in this game having a limited gun count is a catch-22. I love the idea that Battlefield 4 had of constantly unlocking new guns to try out and trying to figure out which ones would do the most damage and best bang for your buck. Now, I would always find myself going back to my go-to gun instead of trying to stick it out with a new one. In Hardline, conversely, I find myself using all the guns in each class. Now, each class of guns has its own strengths and weaknesses. The camos are cool and very fun to unlock as always, you know. But I think what we're going to have to do for those who bought Premium is we're going to have to see what's truly possible when something called Gun Bench is released. From what I hear, basically Gun Bench is a skin creator for your weapons, which would be amazing. Battle packs this time around can be bought, okay? And basically what battle packs do, they emphasize playing the objectives in order to garner the most amount of cash for you and your team. Now, grinding Hotwire is an excellent way to do this. Inside these battle packs, they're different this time, okay? They don't just affect your overall XP, whereas with specific boosts now, they cause you to focus on certain objectives inside the game modes. Take, for instance, your elimination boost, and right now I'm just going to go over some customization and stuff like that. Elimination boosts, they basically allow you to boost your scores by killing opponents, which in turn makes you play certain playlists such as TDM or the competitive game modes to really get the most out of your boost. Team play boosts, they garner the most amount of experience on team aiding actions such as dropping health packs or ammo packs or repairing vehicles for your team. And it makes you focus on game modes like Blood Money or Hotwire. Now these are very welcome twists to a very old mechanic inside games. I'm going to cover some of the fixed things that need to be fixed inside the game in another video, along with some possible fixes for each personal problem that I have. The list isn't very long, but it is changes that I'm very passionate about. Overall, I'd give this game an 8.5 to 8.75, and I feel very comfortable with that score. With DLC and kind of the new game modes and Gun Bench, I feel like it could easily jump up to a 9 to a 9.25 in my eyes, and that's just for me. Now, I'd recommend this game to anyone who wants kind of like a newish experience as FPS. Now, it's not a brand new FPS. It does feel like a regular Battlefield game, and that's the point. But at the same time, they offer so many new things that it is very refreshing to see inside the series. They laid down some really great groundwork for the next Hardline 2, and I think it's a really great thing. So, good job, guys, and if you made it this far, you're a true friend, and I thank you. And as always, I'll check you later.